The group of forces in battle with the counterrevolution in the south of Russia was a military formation of the Soviet Russian government created in the beginning of December 1917 to fight against various autonomous state formations with the goal of establishing the Soviet regime. The formation mainly consisted of Red Guard troops from Petrograd and Moscow under the command of Vladimir Antonov-Ovseyenko and Mikhail Muravyov as the chief of staff. The group consisted of some 20,000 troops. Historical background: the group started to arrive in Kharkiv on December 21, 1917, and on December 22–23, 1917, with the help of the local squads of Red Guards, it established Soviet power in the city. On December 24–25, 1917 in Kharkiv, the first all-Ukrainian Congress of Soviets, which proclaimed the Ukrainian People's Republic of Soviets, took place. The group included the squads of Rudolf Sivers, Yuri Sablin, Pavel Yegorov, Grigory Petrov, and others, as well as the local squads of Red Guards. In the beginning of January 1918, without any official declaration of war, the group initiated military actions around Kharkiv. By the time the Soviet government of Russia had concluded a provisional armistice agreement with the Central Powers, seeking to end its participation in World War I. On January 2, 1918, Sovnarkom appointed Sergei Ordjonik as the Provisional Extraordinary Commissar of the Ukrainian region, who arrived in Kharkiv on January 8. In January of 1918, under the pretense of helping the Bolsheviks of Ukraine in establishing Soviet power, the group launched an offensive from multiple directions against Kiev. A cover for military actions against the Ukrainian People's Republic was a call of the People's Secretariat to an armed struggle against the counter-revolutionary Central Council of Ukraine. The command of the offensive was handed to the acting People's Commissar Yuri Kozyubinsky. On February 8, 1918, the group occupied Kiev and the government of Ukraine relocated to Zhytomyr. On February 9, 1918, it signed a military protection pact with the Central Powers. In the east, the group managed to occupy the Donetsk Basin and the territory of the Don Host Oblast, ending the authority of General Alexei Kaledin. In the occupied territories, such political formations as the Don Soviet Republic and the Donetsk Krivoy Rog Soviet Republic were established. Kiev offensive. On January 15, 1918, the formation occupied Alexandrisk, and on January 21, 1918, Kharkiv received a message from Katerinoslav. Pass this on to the Red Guard headquarters. We attack Poltava. The station is occupied. There is fighting in the city. Send urgently to Konstantinograd 1,000 Red Guards to connect with Yegorov. The Moscow Red Guard squads led by Yegorov, while traveling from the Lozova rail station, intercepted a heavy siege battery of the opponent that was sent to Poltava from Novokakast. At the same time, Vladimir Antonov-Ovseyenko reported to the Narkom of Military Affairs. Yesterday in the evening, Poltava was occupied by us through an offensive from Lozova and Kharkiv, anticipating a report about the occupation of Bakhmut. On January 28, the 1st Minsk Revolutionary Troops, led by Reinhold Berzins, occupied Bakhmut. Berzins' unit consisted of 3,500 Red Guards and soldiers, 4 artillery batteries, and an armored train with a team of 77 people and 16 machine guns. The same day, the revolutionary forces met some resistance at the Kruty rail station, where they were held off for another day by a few hundred cadets. Another commander of the Moscow Red Guards was Andrei Znamensky, who led the special assignment unit of Blagoshlefortovo. At the extraordinary All-Russian Railway Congress on January 26, 1918, Lenin stated that the Rada was living out its last days. On January 29 in Kiev, an uprising of workers started at the Arsenal City factory. To the help rushed the squads of P. Yegorov, Kudinsky, Vitaly Primakov, Reinholds Berzins and others. In the fierce fighting on the outskirts of Kiev and in the city, artillery and armored trains were widely used. On February 6, 1918, the command of the Soviet forces reported back to Lenin in Petrograd that street fighting was taking place in Kiev and the Red Guards were suffering great losses. And it further stated, "We have cleared all the stations in Kiev, as well as the rail terminal. Armored trains of the latest technology are pushing out the enemy from the city center. Our artillery is shelling the city day and night. Request urgently that 1,000 Red Guards be sent." But no reinforcements were really needed, as the Ukrainian forces withdrew from the city. On February 8, 1918, Kiev finally became Soviet, with the situation in Ukraine and the lower Don River region secured. The group of forces was redirected to the South Ural region against General Alexander Dutov and then Joseph Daubor-Muzniki in the eastern regions of Belarus. Order of battle. Commanders: Vladimir Antonov-Ovseyenko, Mikhail Artemovich Muravyov, Chief of Staff; Sergei Ordzhonikidze, Special Commissar of Ukraine and the Southern Region. Initial composition: Finnish Infantry Regiment, 1,300 soldiers, 6 artillery guns, 3 armored cars, 9 motorcycles. Rudolf Sivers, 1st Petrograd Red Guards, 300 soldiers. Nikolai Kovrin, Moscow Combined Group of Revolutionary Soldiers, Yuri Sablin, Zaziev Armored Train, 1st Moscow Revolutionary Red Guards, Captain Pavel Yegorov, 1st Minsk Revolutionary Troops, V. Proligan, Reinholds Berzins, Black Sea Fleet Sailors, Andrei Polupanov, Blagoshlefortovo Red Guards, Bryansk Red Guards, 3rd Bryansk Artillery Battery, Putilov Factory Red Guards, Petrograd Red Guards, 11th Siberian Regiment. Later additions: Kharkiv Red Guards, a few soldiers of the 2nd Ukrainian Reserve Regiment, Red Cossacks, Donbas Red Guards, 30th Reserve Regiment, Kharkiv Red Guards, Vek Factory Red Guards, Dynamo Factory Red Guards, Sinelnikov Red Guards, Bryansk Factory Red Guards, Orlik Serdiak Regiment, Anarchists of Maria Nikiforova and Nestor Makhno, Oleksandrovsk Red Guards, Kiev City Garrison Soldiers, Arsenal Factory Red Guards, Matizan Factory Red Guards, Demiyuka Red Guards, Shulyevka Red Guards, Kiev Locomotive Depot Red Guards.